Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, today I would like to share with you all questions that I like to give to my student. Okay, so the question is inside this book written by Behruz A. Forozan. The title is Data Communications and Networking, the 4th editions, published by McGraw-Hill's International Editions. Okay, the question is inside the chapter 2, page 54. The question is number 21, and the question is based on this figure. Okay, the question is assume that the communication is between a process running at computer A with port address I and a process running at computer D with port address J. Show the content of packets and frame at the network, data link and transport layer for each hoop. Okay, actually this question is quite simple, but most of the students cannot answer the question because of they not understand what the question really is. Okay, so today I would like to share with you all how to answer this question.
But before we start, what is addressing? What is addressing? An internet addressing scheme that allows users and applications to identify a specific network of hosts to communicate with. There are 4 levels of addresses are used in an internet which employing the TCP/IP protocols. Firstly, the physical address. The physical address, also known as the link address, is the address of a node as defined by its length or WAN. It is included in the frame used by the data link layer. It is the lowest level address. Secondly, we have logical addresses. Logical addresses are necessary for universal communications that are independent of the underlying physical networks. Physical addresses are not adequate in an inter-network environment where different networks can have different address formats. A universally addressing system is needed in which each host can be identified uniquely regardless of the underlying physical network. Next, port addresses. The logical address and the physical address are necessary for a quantity of data to travel from a source to the destination host. However, arrival at the destination host is not the final objective of data communications on the internet. A system that sends nothing but data from one computer to another is not complete. Today, computers are devices that can run multiple processes at the same time. The end objective of internet communication is a process communicating with another process. In other words, they need addresses. In the TCP/IP architecture, the label assigned to a process is called a port address. Lastly, specific addresses. Some applications have user-friendly addresses that are designed for that specific address. Example includes the email address and the universal resource locator. These addresses, however, get changed to the corresponding port and logical addresses by the sending computer. So, how does it work? Let me explain through this example. When we're shopping online, the parcel will be shipped to us from one place to another until it is delivered to us. The parcel will move from its origin, such as Seberang Perai to Bampasu, in order to deliver the parcel to its owner. Therefore, physically, the parcel have moved from Seberang Perai to Bampasu by using vehicles such as lorry, buses, van, or maybe motorcycles. It's the same for the case of our data. The data will transmit from source to destination by hopping nodes to node, or in this case, it's called hoop-to-hoop delivery. The address will be changed each time the data go to the next node until it arrives to the destination. The addresses that they will be using to guide them throughout the delivery are called physical addresses. However, different way source to destinations are also known as end-to-end delivery. The address that we use will remain the same throughout the delivery. Let me give you an example. When we send or receive a parcel, we need to write the address of the receiver and sender to ensure that the parcel will arrive safely to the destination. These addresses will remain the same although it takes several pit stops before arriving to the destination. That's what we call logical addresses. Next, let's look at port addresses. As we said before, port address identify a process on a host. Computers often run several programs at the same time. For this reason, source to destination delivery means delivery not only from one computer to the next, but also from a specific process on one computer to a specific process on the other. The transport layer header must therefore include a type of address called a service point address, or also known as port address. The network layers get each packet to the correct computer, but the transport layer gets the entire message to the correct process on that computer. To help you to understand more regarding this, let's do this tutorial. Okay, refer to the questions in the textbook, page 54, question number 21. You can try to derive some of the information from the figure. Okay, firstly, based on the questions, we have computer A and computer D. There's routers, okay, and two LAN, LAN 1 and LAN 2. Okay, there's numbers and also alphabets which represent the addresses. And inside the question itself, there's also a lowercase alphabets which will be representing the port address. Okay, for your guidance, there's uppercase alphabets which is A and D, so that should be the logical address. And then we have numbers. Okay, we have 40, 42, okay, 82 and 80, so that's number represent the physical address. In figure 1, assume that the communication is between a process running at computer A with port address I and a process running at computer D with a port address J. Show the content of packets and frame at the network, data link and transport layer for each hoop. Okay, based on the questions, there are two computers, computer A and D, which they are trying to communicate through the port address I and J. Okay, computer A have the physical address 40 and D is 80. Okay, and then there's also router and LAN, LAN 1 and LAN 2 that need to be interconnect to send the message. First thing of all, to draw the table. Secondly, fill out the fields, okay, for the column and also for the row. Okay, after that, gather the information from the questions. Okay, and before we can fill in the table, let's look some formula. Okay, so this is the formula that I'm talking about. We have three layers. We have transport layer, network layer, and data link layer. So in the transport layer, we have segment. Segment have three parts. Okay, two parts for port address, sender and receiver. Okay, the first part is for sender and the last part is for the receiver. And then we have the third part is for the data, which is the message that we need to send to the receiver. Okay, next we have network layer. So in network layer, we have packet. The packet have 5 parts. Okay, the first 2 part is for the logical address. Okay, first we have the sender and the receiver address for logical address, and then we have another 2 parts for port address, sender and receiver, and lastly we have the data. Okay, and then the third layer we have data link layer with the frames. Okay, so this is entirely different from the above because the physical address, which is 2 part, the receiver is at the front, and then we need the sender address. Okay, so different from the above formula. Okay, and then we have 2 part for logical address, 2 part for port address, and then we have data. And lastly, there's another add-on which is the trailer, which is being added for the functions of error detection and correction. Okay, so let's try to answer the question now. Okay, I'm giving you some guidance here. Okay, we have here computer A and D again. Okay, and then we have link B and C. We have the physical address 40, 42, 82 and 80. And then we have LAN 1 and LAN 2, which will be connected by a router. Okay, so remember again, okay, I'm trying to emphasize here that the physical address will change each time it hook to a new nodes, but the logical and the port address will remain the same throughout the delivery. Okay, remember that. Okay, now you can try answer them using the table that we already draw before. Let's check your answer. Okay, I hope that you get the correct answer. Here we are. This is the correct answer to the tutorial question. Did you get it right? Great! If not, you can always do more exercises by doing partial examination questions. Alhamdulillah, that's all folks. Thanks for watching. Inshallah, I will be uploading a new lesson into my teaching platforms. Stay tuned and Assalamualaikum.